Yeah, they try to put me in a box I don't fit. Try to make me blend in, I won't quit. God made me on purpose with intention. Every quirk, every flaw is part of the mission. They say I'm too much and not enough. Too loud, too quiet, too soft, too tough. But I was crafted by the master's hand. They don't understand, but that wasn't the plan.
Hello. Have you ever just found yourself tossing and turning at night, worried about things that you can't control, replaying things in your head and scenarios over and over and over and over and over, only to find out that you've stayed up all night and the situation is still the same? But I want you to know that God knows your worries. But He also reminds us that we need to focus on things that can bring us peace. See, in the scripture of Matthew 6 and 34, it says, "So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today." So, in other words, what that's saying to us is that stop worrying because we don't have control, anyways. Like, the worries of today is enough. We in a 24-hour period, we have enough stuff that we have to already worry about, instead of worrying about tomorrow, next week, the week after. If they do this, I'm going to do this, and all those things. So today, I just want to focus and ground ourselves. And when I say us, I include myself too, because I'm very analytical. I could be up all night thinking about something, or how I'm going to do this, or what I'm going to say, or if this happens, this is what I'm going to do next. We need to stop, because that can affect us physically. So today I want to explore, like, on focusing what we can control and what we can influence. And because God wants us to have peace. He don't want us to be all tied up in knots worrying about stuff we can't control anyway. So we read Matthew 6, and again it says, Matthew 6 and 34 says, "So do not worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's troubles is enough for today." So today we're going to dive into it. We're going to shift our hearts from worry to action. So how do we do that? How do you, Melinda, how are you shifting your heart? What do you mean shift my heart from worry to action? Just what it is. We're going to put stuff in the place, so to help us with some of the worry. Now, of course, if you're anything like me and you're super analytical and you want to know the A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, all that, quite naturally you're going to be thinking about stuff, but we need to think about healthy stuff that's going to help us and not hinder us. So what I love, I had read this book years ago, and I've used this in my life like a lot, especially being a nurse manager and dealing with, the chaos of, nursing at times. And I had like 125 employees and people in and out. And then not only that, at home, dealing with home life and family, friends, or situations, mostly like, relationally, or friends, or co-workers and stuff like that. And then I'm one of those people that take on everybody. I want to help everybody. I want peace. I'm the peacemaker. But I'm giving everybody else peace, and here I am putting all these bricks on my back while everybody else is la 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 la. And then you're carrying all these loads because everybody looks to you for all the answers. So we need to dive in today to kind of go a little deeper, to lighten our loads and make sure that we have peace. Because I had gotten to one point, before I had a lot of deaths in my family, like back to back to back to back to back, I was feeling the greatest. Like, I like literally was like, I'm going to worry about, there's two things that, like, a circle of control is stuff that we have control over it directly. Then you have the circle of concern. There's things that we're concerned about, but that's not in our circle of control or circle of influence. So we need to focus on the things that we have control over. And I'll show you, when I'm referring to these circles, what they look like, because I live by these. And I know when I was a nurse manager and people would line up at my door with all their problems and stuff like that, other supervisors, employees, and then my charge nurses, they run in, "Melinda, this is going on and this is going on, and I'm so mad, and this is going on." And I'd point to my little chart and I'll say, "Where does this fall? Does this fall in my circle of influence or my circle of concern?" And so, like, I'll show you this really quick. This one, if you look at this chart, what's in the middle is our circle of influence. That's what we have control over. And then the circle of concern is on the outside. So as I'm talking, if we focus more and put more worry about things that are actually influence us, then your circle will be bigger in the middle, and that causes for more positive results. Whereas on the other hand, and also the first one calls you to be proactive, like you think ahead. Hey, I'm gonna do this on Friday, I'm gonna go shopping, I'm gonna do this. Whereas if you sit here and you focus on the circle of concern and be reactive, not proactive, now you've made everything on the outside bigger. And we'll talk about what that means, like the circle of concern versus your circle of influence. But I just wanted to give you a visual because I'm a visual person. So when I'm saying circle of control and influence, which is in the middle, which is what we should be focused on, versus everything that's on, think of a big circle, everything is on the outside. Like think of my hair, like here, this is be your circle of concern if you're picturing a circle, and everything in the middle is the circle of control, which what we have control over. So Stephen Covey, he has a book called, and it's an older book, but this is great for anybody who will love this video. Get that book. It's called Stephen Covey Circle of Influence, and it's from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I actually have it back here somewhere because I love that book. But anyway, basically he has a framework, or he basically wants us to focus on things for proactive living and separating our worries into things that we can control, or influence versus stuff we cannot. So you're probably thinking, Melinda, what are you talking about? So if you look at stuff that circle of influence and circle of things that you have direct control of and that you influence, these would be things like your daily habits. You're going to get up, you're going to brush your teeth, you're going to take your shower. These are things that you have control over. How you respond if somebody's cussing and fussing, or people are complaining, or you go to the store and the line is long. But how do you respond to that stimulus? How are you responding? You have control over that. And then how you communicate with people. Somebody come flying in your office, or flying at work, or at home, going off because they felt like the house should have been cleaned at this time, or you should have had dinner cooked. You still have control on how you react. So that is what is in your circle of control and circle of influence. And then you also have control over like your personal goals, how kind you are to somebody. You actually have control over that. Or boundaries. Like you told me you was gonna call me at 7 o'clock, but you, oops, I forgot, or oops, my battery died. Every time you supposed to call me, your battery died, you lost the phone, the dog ate it, this, that, or the other. You have control of setting boundaries, because now the second time you did that, I'm not going to answer at that time, since every time we have an issue, I have control over if I'm going to get upset or not. Now my phone's going to die because I'm going to turn it off. It's not literally dead, but it's dead to you. Or, it's not working for you. I don't know what all we can say on YouTube yet because I'm new to this. So I don't know if they're going to dig me for that word, but you know what I'm saying. But so if the phone's not working, or what have you, because I turned it off because you kept giving me all these excuses. And then your mindset and attitude, like you have control over that. You can come to work and say, I'm gonna have a good day today. I don't care what is going on or in your household. You know what? I'm gonna set the tone in my house today. I don't care what else is going on. I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna put my music on. If somebody starts clowning up in the house and acting a fool, I'm gonna put my headset on. I'm gonna get my relaxation music. I'm going to put my rap on and jam, or whatever you want to listen to. You still have control of the attitude. Now, circle of concern. These are things that we're concerned about them. We might care about them, but we can't control them. You know, like for example, the economy. You can't control that. natural disasters. A lot of states had all this snow. We can't control the snow. We can only control how we react to the snow. And then, did you shovel your driveway? Did you have the salt, in preparation? But you cannot control the actual disaster. Other people's opinion of you. People are going to talk. People are going to talk. Somebody might watch this video and say, why is she teaching us about that? I don't care about that. Okay, good. Then that's when you go to the next channel that doesn't teach you about controlling emotions and things like that. So when you worry about those type of things unnecessarily, like, you can't do anything about it. Like, I can't do anything about how a person feels. Like, that's their own personal opinion. And then, like, traffic, weather, we talked about that. Past mistakes, there's nothing you could do if it's already happened. Like, it's already gone. So today, what can you do to make sure you don't do it again? There's people who, people have made mistakes. We all have made mistakes. And do we wish we made different choices sometimes? Yes, we do. But we can't go backwards. Only thing we could do is live for today and make better choices. And so when you're trying to change and you're trying to elevate, these are things to just think of. What can I control? um Somebody walking around cheating or whatever. Again, you cannot control that, but what you can control is if you're going to accept it. It goes back to your boundaries. Okay, do I want to be in this relationship? Is this something worth salvaging? You know what I mean? That's something that you have control of, that because it's your decision. um other people's actions, which is kind of what I just alluded to. And I always like to give other examples. Like, for example, when I was like a nurse manager, and I would have people, let's say they called in to work. I can't control whether they call in to work or not, right? That's in my circle of concern, because I still need to staff the clinic, right? I still need bodies to take care of patients, but I can't control whether they call in or not. But what I can control is how many nurses I put on this floor versus that floor, because we don't have the staff. So I have control over that. That's my circle of influence. But my circle of concern, I'm concerned that they called in, but there's nothing I could do about it. So that's kind of how you do it. And then, like, let's use a home life example. I always try to give professional and personal example. So let's say in your marriage, if you're married or you're in a relationship, let's say you like I said, you didn't cook or something like that, and your spouse or partner, significant other, was upset that you didn't cook or something like that. You have control over whether you cook or not, but you don't have control over if they were mad. Like, once they get mad at you, and let's say they start going off, and they're not communicating effectively, or they're sitting here cussing and fussing instead of saying, babe, I worked all day, and I really thought we was gonna have something to eat. I wish you kind of would have told me earlier. But nah, you should have had food on the table, and that's your job, even though you work a job too. Yeah, both work 9 to 5, and you might work 10 hours a day. They might work 4. So, but yeah, you want to come home and tell me about what I should do. So, did you don't have control over what they say, but you have control over your response. So you could opt to not say nothing and say, okay, I heard you, or you could say, look, don't talk to me like that. This is gonna be your last time talking to me like that. Again, those boundaries, because I don't talk to you like that, and I appreciate if you don't talk to me like that. So you have control over certain things. You also have control over how many times you let somebody, like, walk over you, like, whatever a deal breaker is for you. Like, if you're going to keep talking crazy to me after I told you not to, then that's an issue for me. So, hey, I have to make some decisions, because this may not be a relationship I want to be in again. So when you think of things like that, also, like, things that's like a circle of concern you might care about, but it's not your direct problem. Like, say for instance, if you have family members that maybe they work or maybe they don't, and they want money for this, that, or the other, or they're telling you, because of you, you didn't give me the money, I didn't even get to I couldn't even get to work, or because of you, you didn't give me this, now I'm hungry. Well, I mean, I'm concerned that you're hungry and stuff like that, and I'll try to help you when I can, but that's your poor planning, is not my problem. Like, that's not an emergency for me, so I'm not going to get mad and get all sad and depressed or down. see, again, I don't know what words we can say on here. I'm not going to get all sad and down because you're mad because you didn't work. So your poor plan is not an emergency for me. I help you when I can, but I'll give you something that I won't miss, because if I know I'm not going to get it back, I'm going to, give it accordingly, like that. Or am I going to keep enabling you so you don't ever have to work? Like, you'll never work if I keep giving you everything. So again, I care about it, and that's in my circle of concern, but that's not directly my circle of influence, like where I'm required, unless you're my child and you're a minor, I'm required. That's my circle of influence. I have to take care of my son. I have to buy him clothes. I have to make sure he has a roof over his head. But somebody that's grown, or if you have a partner just laying on the couch pushing the remote, no, sir. That's out of my circle of concern. I mean, I'm watching you I'm getting up and getting out the bed every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you parlaying on the couch. No, sir. So things like that, you would look at those. Or no, ma'am, I'm not gonna just say it's men, because they, like women to do the same thing. So like, I know it's an equal opportunity here. So those are things that we can work on, like making sure that we don't stress ourselves out over stuff that's not in our in our power. Like, I don't have control. Like, another work example would be, I will have somebody coming in the office, let's say they're calling in, and you're on the phone, and I just want to say this, and y'all know, I people that know me like personally, they know I like joke about stuff, but it'd be real stuff. And they used to say, Melinda, you could say the same thing in a different way. You say the same thing that somebody else said, but we don't take it like harsh. I don't mean it harsh, but I'm just saying, I speak the truth. And so the thing is that if you're calling in, I'm not a supervisor right now, and I act in supervisory roles to help out my supervisor at times. But if people call in and you're not coming to work, okay, that's out of my circle. I can't control you're calling in, you're not coming. Okay, I get it. You're not coming. But do everybody a favor if you're calling in. Let's say you're calling in sick and you have a cold. Please don't be on the phone coughing and making sure we hear that for 5 minutes. Because if you're not coming, you're not coming. We got the message. You're not coming. Please don't be. I mean, I had somebody doing that for the first time she did it. It was a good 3 to 5 minutes, and then she tried to, because I'm trying to be sympathetic, because I'm so empathetic and sympathetic. But then it's like, look, I gotta staff these clinics. I'm not about to sit on this phone with you to listen to coughing all night long just because you're proving a point that you're not coming to work and you want me to hear that you're sick. Please, it's just, you're not coming. Okay, got it. Who's gonna fill that spot? That's what the leaders are looking for, guys. And that's just a tip that had nothing to do with what I was talking about today. But if you're not coming to work, you're just not coming. Just say, hey, I'm not coming, I'm using sick leave, or hey, I'm not coming. But all the other theatrics, that your supervisor, they're trying to staff the clinics, and or whatever job they have, the phone bank, the phone place, the warehouse, wherever you work. If you're not coming, you're not coming. Anyway, that was a long spiel, but I hope this was helpful for you, as far as what you can control versus what you can't. Just remember, circle of influence, um and circle of control is what you actually can control. But when you talk about circle of concern, I'm concerned about it, but I can't control that. So that's not something that I'm gonna spin my wheels worrying and stressing about, because I'm gonna focus my energy on things that I can control, which then decreases the stress on me, because I'm not worried about Sue, John, Bob, and they don't have this and they don't have this, and oh my God, I gotta help them get this, and oh my God, they don't have that. I'm gonna run and do this, and oh, they're into it with them, so I'm gonna pick up the phone and go call them for them. We all need to get together and do this. Okay, I'm not taking on all that stress, because time is the one thing you can't get back. And once these days go past, and you've wore yourself down, now it starts to directly impact you physically. So I want us all to be in a healthy state, and just to keep that in mind, including myself, because I always want to save the world. So I have to remind myself. I literally had that sign up, and even now on my job, I've introduced some other women to it, and I'm like, okay, where does that fall? Is that in our circle of concern? or a circle of influence? Do we have control over that or not? And they'll be like, nah, we don't. Oh, that was good. So that helps me like all the time, because then I can efficiently move through my work, because I'm worried about what everybody else got going on. Oh, I'll take this. Oh, I'll take that. Oh, I'll take that. Meanwhile, you might be stuck working late and everybody else can go home. The people that you done took this and that from, and you're sitting here working tired, leaving your family at home without you, and they already gone out to dinner with theirs. So that's where I'm going with this. You have to kind of take care of yourself and do self-care and make sure you take care of yourself. So till next time, I just wanted to give you that little bit of tidbit. I'm sorry ran a little bit over, because I meant to try to stay at 10 minutes, but we went a little bit over. But peace, love, joy, happiness. I hope you have a great day. If you are newly viewing the channel, thank you, welcome. If you are returning, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys. If you have not subscribed and you like what I'm putting down, I kind of do different things. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free. Like and subscribe so we can find our other family members on the YouTube world. All right, till next time. See you guys later.